Hi, welcome back to Tuning Into the One and for Better Living Now. This is Milan on the video series on life hacks, bits, and bytes from the signature success breakthrough method. Remember, we want to be able to say yes to optimal quality of life outcomes so we can feel more fully alive, fix and fill in the missing life pieces, shift and upgrade our quality of life, invite in more and more of our deepest dreams and desires as soon as possible, now, not someday, which may never come. We want to be able to avoid wasting years and decades and get results in days, weeks, and months instead, and that's what this series is all about, how to get there now, not someday. So these are quick 5 to 10 minute video bites and bits, life hacks on the method. If you want to find out more, go to forbetterlivingnow.com/yes. It's below this video as well. Let's get into it. These are 5 to 10 to 11 to 12 minute videos on how to be able to take something you learn now, today, and put it in your life ASAP. Upgrading our tools and skills, and specifically how to be able to gain more awareness of managing our yin-yang energy flow for greater life balance and life success through greater conscious, intentional, improved body-mind harmony and alignment. A lot of words, but it's using some simple, effective, and powerful tools and skills that we'll get into now. So why would yin-yang energy awareness matter to you, to me, to anybody? Because it's very critical and important to be able to tap into our ideal, our intentional, our conscious aligned points and places of balance with our energy, with our health, and with our communication. When we don't have that, we're out of alignment and we're out of balance, and that creates troubles, blocks, problems. They creep in, and misunderstandings, blow-ups, and disease are usually not very far behind. And in today's modern world, gender identities, gender dynamics, gender roles, role reversals, men at home, women at work, men with feelings, women with economic, social, political power. We're dealing in a world that also has some hybrid, unisex, androgynous realities that are unfolding before our eyes. We use pronouns now to identify ourselves. So the vexing questions are, what does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a woman? And how do we make sense in today's modern landscape of gender identities and finding our balance in these 21st century roles of androgyny in our personal and professional lives, along with maybe wanting some more classic and traditional values alignments and being able to do that through our energy and how we present ourselves. So the yin-yang signals decoded what, how, and when, a simple, easy to follow scripting of paths that determine yin track and yang track. Because if you're a powerful person in the workplace or an entrepreneur or a C-level, or you're just out there in life doing what you're doing, realize that being in the workplace and following your professional endeavors is yang work. When you want to get into your feelings, that's yin work. So we need a balance of the two in order to have an optimal kind of alignment and sense of balance, especially when it comes to who we are, how we identify ourselves, what we project into the world, and how we show up in our personal and professional lives. So we'll get into that in just a moment. In the meantime, remember that our energy is usually dispersed, diffused, and poorly aligned in how we usually go about living our daily lives. We're 100% energy, but we don't know how to consciously be aligned and balanced in harmony with who we are, with our lives, and with our lifestyles. And if we don't know how to use some simple tools to fix these yin-yang energy misalignments, blocks, and problem issues, then that can create bigger problems down the road. And understanding how yin-yang work together is one of the #1 core identity and relationship dynamics puzzle pieces that's missing today in our modern lifestyle approaches. And it has a huge impact on how this yin-yang equation plays out in our bodies, in our emotions, in our relationships, and our mindsets, especially in our personal and professional lives. And it's one of the biggest reasons why so many men end up emotionally unavailable, immature, incompetent, or broken, and why so many women out there end up physically exhausted, drained, and emotionally heartbroken, diseased, meaning a lack of ease as well as disease, end up stressed out, that sometimes leads to surgeries and medication. And it doesn't have to be that way. So how do we fix these yin-yang misalignment and imbalance and problems and issues? Well, it's pretty simple and straightforward. We start with a yin-yang verbal signals flow and just understand basic awareness. When you want to be in your yin, you lead with I feel statements and I don't want statements. These are yin signature energy verbal signals. When you want to lead with your yang, meaning you want to be in your yang, you start with I think and I want statements. That's that simple. What does that really mean for us? Well, on a kind of basic level, what we want to be able to do is lead with our feelings if we're in our yin, and then follow up with our thoughts. If we're in our yang, just realize that you're leading with your thoughts, and then you want to process those thoughts through your feelings. You lead with don't wants in the yin track first, and then your wants. In the yang track, you do exactly the opposite complement version, which is you lead with your wants, and then your don't wants. If you want to be yin, speaking to a yang energy, you want to ask, what can I say or do to help you do better? What can I say or do to help you do better? Because the yang does and the yin feels. Correspondingly, if you're on your yang track and you want to speak to the yin, you want to ask, what can I say or do to help you feel better? So the yang is asking the yin about its feelings, and the yin is asking the yang about its actions, its thought, and its activities. The yin needs to feel good first. It needs to receive first before giving, and the yang complementarily needs to lead first with doing and with actions before receiving. And this is one of the biggest problems when it comes to relationship dynamics and how to balance them out. So the yin needs to look for its needs to be met first, and the yang needs to look to meet the other's needs first before looking at itself. Basically, in its core essence, yin is soft, passive, and vulnerable, and yang is hard, assertive, and controlling. If we're talking about the dance of life or doing the tango, one person leads or one of the two in this kind of binary equation of balance and symmetry needs to be the lead. So the yin is not the lead in the dance. The yang is the lead and the yin follows. It's that simple. Lead with your feelings and then your thoughts if you want to be in your yin, and lead with your thoughts first and then process into your feelings from your yang. And as men and women, people with different identities, different roles, different beliefs, different expectations, just understand that we all have yin and yang. Men, biologically being the hunters, are more geared toward a yang track organically. And women, being more of the classic primordial kind of gatherers, are yin engineered. So if you're a yin woman and you want to go into your yang, just be conscious about it. If you're in the workplace, realize that is a yang environment for both men and women. So if you're in your yang during the day and you want to come home and have a relationship with yourself or with a partner or with your family, just understand that the cost may be high if you stay in yang all the time and do very little yin. Same thing for men. If you're in your yin all the time, you're out of balance with your natural biology, organically speaking. However, if you've got a yang woman and a yin man, that works fine as long as it's a complementary process. Otherwise, if we have two yang and yangs all the time, they're bumping heads, and eventually two trains on the same track will collide, and that'll create all kinds of issues and problems. So remember, we're energy. As energy, we're male and female. There's light and dark. There's contrast in this world. Hot, cold, plus, minus, positive, negative, attractive, and being attracted and being repelled or repulsed. These are all, even in atomic scientific structure, just basic components of how nature, our bodies, our energies, our thoughts, and our flows in our social lives can be. So understand, gain awareness, use this video and these basics to start appreciating, are you out of balance? Are you not creating a certain level of alignment in your life based on who you are, what you're doing, and how you're showing up in your personal and your professional lives? And if you want more about how to align and balance, then you can get there by starting here. Understanding ourselves energetically is the #1 key clarity point. Then bring conscious awareness, then make conscious choices, and then create harmony in your own life, personally, professionally, in your family, in your work environment, in your business, everything. It's the balance of the two. Because the cost of ongoing misalignment and imbalances and dis-ease is we'll keep exploring situations, hit and miss and trial and error, until that imbalance and that dis-ease and that lack of alignment blows up, falls apart, disintegrates, creates all kinds of havoc. And then, you end up with those blow-ups, or with blown-up situations, or with missed opportunities one by one by one. Gain insight, awareness, and make conscious choices from there. Otherwise, we break down physically, emotionally, and psychologically until it finally meets some kind of rock bottom where we start picking ourselves up. This can be a high-risk, high-stakes gambling game of life roulette. It doesn't have to be. Because when you have a blueprint, when you have that level of planning and you put a method into play, you have your clarity. Otherwise, you're playing life roulette, don't know the rules, just kind of going along, hit and miss, and no reason for that. We can do it differently. If you want more insight, go to John Gray's book, Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus, as well as Deborah Tannen's book, Women and Men in Conversation You Just Don't Understand. Or if you want to workplace specific, there's a great little book called Working with Groups in the Workplace, Bridging the Gender Gap by Louise Volton Eberhard that has some wonderful insights. Because remember, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it's taken place. So in order to avoid that, gain awareness, have conscious choices, and bring your balance and harmony to your personal and professional life. If you want to reach me, you can reach me at hello@forbetterlivingnow.com. And remember, this is all about you. So thank you and see you next time. This is the video series on life hacks, bits, and bytes. This is Milan wishing you amazing life success and mastery. Until the next time, bye for now.